Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's review we're going to be taking a look at Grid. This is developed and published by Codemasters, so a massive thanks to them for the review copy and making this video possible. Now this Grid is actually not the original Grid, obviously. This is a reset or a reboot in the Grid series, which is also part of the Toka series. I believe this is the 10th game in the Toka series. So these guys have been doing this for quite a long time, but I still think it's a bit of a weird name just to name this one Grid, since the original Grid isn't incredibly old, but nonetheless it is a good reboot. Now, for those who haven't played Grid or even Toka, you may not know this is a mixture in between a simulation game and an arcade game. I would say slightly more towards the simulation in some aspects and slightly towards the arcade in other aspects. But nonetheless, this makes it a lot of fun. So on the simulation side, you can maybe tweak around with a few options before the race starts. You can have a pretty bad accident or crash if you're not careful going around the corners too fast. But on the other side, it is a bit arcadey. You can actually rewind if you do screw up. You can just get back to safety. The turning and control, how reactive it is, feels slightly on the arcadey side as well. So it's kind of got a bit of both worlds, and in my opinion this actually makes it a lot of fun. Other features like not really being punished for kind of crashing against other players, however they will become your nemesis in this kind of cool system where if you kind of annoy somebody too much, they will go out for you. They will literally try and knock you off the track. Sometimes they will be incredibly aggressive, which is kind of quite scary sometimes. You can actually do this also with your teammate if you screw him up too much, and yeah, you really need to be careful. They really do kind of try and almost kill you in that aspect. So what stood out to me the most about this Grid is how good most of the things look. The color palette, the environment looks absolutely amazing. The particles when somebody has a crash, just in general, everything looked absolutely stunning. There was one thing that didn't look all that great in my opinion, and that was like the actual car after they've had like a bad crash. Just like the bits hanging off the car and stuff like that, I didn't really like that much, but apart from that, everything else looks absolutely stunning, especially when it's raining or got some weather effects thrown in there. It looks really epic. Now, like in pretty much most racing games, it has a career mode, a quick mode, time attacks, and the usual, and then it has like an online mode. And the online mode is definitely where I had the most fun, especially if you do get paired up with people that know what they're doing. You can really have some quite intense races. Something I didn't really like about this particular game is the lack of tracks. I mean, it isn't that bad, but compared to some of the older games and other racing games, the selection of tracks isn't that huge, but the ones that are on the game, you can tell that they've worked quite hard on them to make them look really good. And yeah, it's a racing game, so I don't have much more to say, just a lot of fun, and especially now in this massive ocean of games coming out, it's always nice to have just a break and go on to a completely different type of game. Not saying that all the other games are bad, but it's just really nice to have a drastic change in gameplay, and this one was a lot of fun. So from me, it's going to be an 8 out of 10. Hopefully this review is helpful, guys. If it was, please go like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please consider supporting me over on Patreon. This will allow me to get more games and produce more videos. Thanks ever so much for the support. Take care, guys.